East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spread. And now
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And this one features the Saints' field-stretching tight end. He had a standout game 1 week ago with 3 touchdown catches. It's the Saints and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Let's get in. Let's go.
First play, here's Cousins. And his first pass is incomplete. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Back deep, the Louisiana native Jarvis Landry. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by Taysom Hill, the very versatile quarterback out of Brigham Young.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, and we'll see if he can keep a string of good games going right here.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A shotgun snap for Hill. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
On 1st down, it's Hill. There's Chris Olave. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. The Saints at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they come on a pretty good lose it 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Hill now operating from the red zone. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Juwan Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Looks good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out.
And the ball is knocked out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Landry now on the return. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind to, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
On first down, Hill. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 35 yards the gain there. Another first down as well.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Lux with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Setting up the screen for Cook. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. So here are the Saints to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Hill. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, Cardinal?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And space tough to come by there as they'll give maybe a yard to the 37. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Cousins. And complete, right side to Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43. Cook up the gut. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing on second down, Cousins. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
He's going to let it go again. And this is caught. Touchdown, Saints. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. Forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Marcus Davenport, a former first-round pick in 2018, is really starting to come on for the New Orleans Saints. In 2021, in only 11 games, 9 sacks after posting 12 combined in his first 3 NFL seasons.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Joe Mixon, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Saints, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
He'll throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. From the gun, here's Hill. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hill. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Hill looks to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Cousins to throw it. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Cousins. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And here's Ryan Wright now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now Landry. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Cousins into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and the Saints are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Here's Hill now after the interception. Quick slant, that's caught by the 5'11 Landry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially they'll say it's going to go for 19. They will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Hill. Here's Johnson with a reception. And out across midfield down to the 45. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Going deep here for Landry. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
And now out comes Minnesota. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Hill. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass.
Touchdown! Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Lutt's good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have won.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On first down, it's Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Hill. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Play fake. Hill. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this up to midfield. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Cousins now from the 50. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That one looks like he'll throw here. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Hill to throw on 3rd and 1. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. They go play fake, and it's Hill. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Following the fumble recovery, Hill. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. Play action. It's Hill. They'll roll him out right. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Hill. Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. And again, it's Hill. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Saints, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.
It's another one.